René Dondio. I'm here to talk about our project, Blockchain Money Remittance. We call ourselves BMR. Before I get started, I would like to ask you a few questions. Did you know that 40% of the world population has no bank account? Did you also know that about 450 billion US dollars was transferred in 2016? Did you also know that mobile and P2P money transfer is growing much faster in developing countries? Did you know that an average of 200 US dollar remittance was subject to 7 to 10% fees, which is amazing, ridiculous. We, Blockchain Money Remittance BMR, are offering an affordable, reliable money transfer solution using the blockchain technology. Our mission and vision. Our mission is to lead the remittance industry to a distributed prototype model of citizen deliverance. BMR is aiming to eradicate poverty by making remittance much cheaper and faster and accessible to anyone, everywhere, at any time. Our project will focus mainly on the US-Mexico corridor because the US is currently the largest source of international remittances in the world, sending around 56 billion US dollars in 2015 only. And Mexico actually received the largest portion of those remittances. That set Mexico as the largest receiver of all the remittance in the world. So our team is composed of skilled, hard skilled, and dynamic people very willing to spend much time on this project. We are people from the financial sector, economic sector, and we are knowledgeable about blockchain technology. We love that technology and we dedicate it. Our competitive advantages can be easily described using the VAIO tool, which VAIO stands for Value, Rare, Immutability, and Organization. This is a nice tool to present the company internal core competences. And those core competences actually are our blockchain-based process that is unique, swift process through artificial intelligence and algorithm, innovation through the process, the whole system, availability, time, transparency, security, cheap platform through standardized user interfaces. And of course, we have a good dedicated team that supports the whole process. Our competitive advantage are we offering not only the money remittances, but we also want to improve life of the local community, life of the Mexican, by supporting them in education, healthcare, social activity, to sum it. And by doing that, we get more in touch with the local community compared to other companies that are only in the business to make money. We firstly there to improve the life of people and then get the unbanked people to the banking world with the blockchain. And so our overall value proposition is more for the same. More for the same simply means that we're offering more benefit for the same price as we compare to our competitors. So our business model, we basically use the business model canvas to present our business model. I'm not going to go through this because it's going to take a lot of time. Just to tell you that our business model is more or less similar to Airbnb and Uber, both applying the P2P business model typical for a sharing economy. That's what we're doing. And that is our added value, our core competitive. That sets us different from the competitors. And my colleagues will be telling you more about part that I didn't cover during the other part of the presentation. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, my name is Jordi Jensen and I'm the COO of BMR, Blockchain Money Remittances. I'm going to explain you what our current landscape is and how we rely or how we differ from our competitors. And I'm going to explain why there is a need of digitalized and decentralized remittances. So let's start first with that part, why it is important to decentralize remittances. As my colleague, our CEO, Irene DJ already explained, is that as a customer from the current remittance system, you will have to pay on average around 7% at the minimum, which is double the amount our world global institutions say you should pay. Not only that, you will have to wait for several working days. You need to visit locations. Locations are closed within certain amounts of time. You need to travel there, and they enter all your data. Your money is it's a single point of failure system, so it can be hacked, it can be fraudulized, etc., etc., etc. So the first step we did is we focused on decentralizing this system. So putting remittances on the blockchain, which inherits, of course, the decentralized critical aspects, like no single point of failure, instant transmission, in a digital way where you yourself own your own money, which is transparent, unhackable, etc., etc., immutable, sender resistant, and all those aspects. So basically where it comes down to, although blockchain technology isn't fully or widely globally accepted, it does have a brighter future than the current system, because the current system can't compete with a system which can nearly transact money to the other side of the world, or can transact money to the other side of the world for nearly free. Okay, that's the first thing. On the other hand, we have a lot of competitors. What we did is we analyzed our digital competitors. So we mainly focused on other blockchain projects, because we made the assumption that the current money remittance systems like Western Union and PayPal can't compete with a nearly free, or in our case, nearly free system. The important part here is that most of the other blockchain related projects aren't fully decentralized, where they inherently don't, where they don't inherit all the proper properties. For example, one of the big competitors here is Ripple. And Ripple is a system where still some central form of authority is in control, which makes not only the system a bit vulnerable, but mainly one of the most important part is that you yourself are not fully in control of your own transactions. There's always some form of intermediary there. So what we try to accomplish in this case, and my colleagues will tell you more of course about this prospect, is that we're creating a competitive advantage using a fully decentralized way, whereas we offer a solution for people working in the United States in this case, which send remittances towards Mexico. So we're looking very forward to working on this job.
Hello, my name is Jeff Cross. I am a co-founder and head of business development at Blockchain Money Remittance, or BMR. I'd like to show you the functionality of the BMR system, which is a unique way of combining a Hawala-like system and blockchain to reduce the prices of money transfers in the US to Mexico corridor, the biggest remittance corridor in the world. Hawala is a non-traditional remittance system that in effect moves money without actually moving it, as it operates through a system of agents or existing business partners that will only balance their books the next time they meet or when they transact normal business and can over or under invoice. One key difference is the Hawala system is based on trust and existing connections, whereas our BMR solution is a trustless system using blockchain and smart contracts. Our system combines the benefits of an already peer-to-peer and decentralized system with the immutability and global nature of blockchain to create a remittance system architecture that is fast, cheap, and secure. So now I would like to walk you through a typical use case so you can see BMR in action. Meet Maria Guadalupe. She is a migrant from Mexico who has immigrated to the United States for better job opportunities. She gets paid in cash and needs to send money back home to her family in Mexico. To do that, she simply gets on her smartphone and goes to the BMR app to initiate the transfer. Once on the app, she selects the recipient, the amount of the transaction, the location in Mexico for cash pickup, and the agents that are available to meet for cash pickup and delivery. Maria Guadalupe now can either meet the receiving agent in person, or better yet, deposit cash to the receiving agent's U.S. bank account at any of the branches or ATMs at any time, which offers more convenience and safety. Then all she has to do is upload a picture of the receipt to the app. Once the receiving agent acknowledges that the cash was received, our blockchain magic can begin. He initiates a smart contract which sends the corresponding amount of XRP tokens to the sending agent in Mexico. Simultaneously, a confirmation password is sent only to the beneficiary. Now that the sending agent in Mexico has the tokens, the next step is to meet with the beneficiary to give him the corresponding amount in pesos. The beneficiary in Mexico meets the agent at a nearby restaurant, gives him the confirmation password, which executes the smart contract that releases the XRP tokens to his account, so he can now give the beneficiary the cash in pesos. The beneficiary can now confirm to Maria Guadalupe that the transaction is complete. Tequila shots, anyone?
Hello, my name is Alberto Fernandez and I'm gonna talk about the economics for BMR. So, we will be trying to change the world and passing from a 7% cost of remittance from one country to another to a 1.5 to 2% cost of the remittance under the 3% level that is the recommendation by the Economic World Authorities. So we are thinking about focusing initially in the US-Mexico corridor. Remittance for that market account to $60 billion and growing annually 3%. So this is really a huge volume of funds being transmitted. Our goal is to be able to capture in 2019 1% of this market. So this would be basically around $600 million, and that could mean for us $11 million in revenue in 2019. In 2020, our target is to be able to capture 4% of that market, and this 4% accounts to $2.6 billion, and for us it would be $45 million. In our third year of operation, 2021, our aim is to capture 10% of this market. So that's our final goal for our 3 years plan. So 10% of this market is quite aggressive, as you can see. So basically, this would be a 6.6 billion remittance, and for us it would be $117 million. So this is our target for the 3 years plan. Obviously, we need some resources for that. Once we have revenue, we are able to cover the cost, especially at this level of revenue. But for 2019, we need an initial round of finance. So our intention is to do an ICO in which we will be launching the BMR token. The BMR token will grant different advantages to people purchasing this token. Obviously, it can serve as an investment, but more than that, it will give access to discounts in the remittance that are done through our system, premium access, and other benefits that we will be explaining during the ICO. We want to issue 100 million BMR token, and 70% of them will be for public sale. Our aim with this BMR token is actually be able to fund 6 $6.3 million. This is the initial funds that we need to get started our operations.